Hello, Mixer. Gonna do breakfast, gonna do pickled eggs tonight. We got startings of quick pickles, or quick pickled eggs. Got some onion here we're gonna use. Get started with the onion here. Actually, I should probably get started with the eggs, but since I've already started, we'll do the onion first. Don't remember when I put this guy in the refrigerator. It's been a minute. So we'll just do slices of onion here. And the red onion will sort of tie-dye these, not as much as if you did beets or other red things like red cabbage or purple cabbage. So we got our onion, we got a couple sprigs of dill, I'll just have. We got a serrano pepper. Just quarter up there and let all of that go in there. Let's get eggs going. I need two eggs for dinner, 2 eggs for pancakes. And so that leaves us with 5 here for pickling. Yay, math. Hey, you Wizard. Hey, Legacy Wolf. I have done pancakes before. I have never done pancakes before at home on my cast iron. So, somewhat of an adventure here for myself as well. Usually I've done things like, I remember cooking on my college internship or externship where I can do 5 in this guy. Well, let's do this one. At a very nice resort hotel. But we were doing sort of a show of food. Cooking pancakes to order, but doing it effectively on sternos. And if you know what sternos are, they're essentially little cans of don't even really know what the substance in it is, but it's a burning like gel. It's like napalm. You don't want to get it on anything. And with that over a large metal plate, which was adventurous. Didn't exactly provide enough heat to properly cook a pancake, in my opinion. Yeah, flaming jelly. It's a good. I mean, it's usually some neon color pink or blue or something like that that wouldn't normally be found in food. And it's sort of clear otherwise. I also, at that same place, we used to have in one of the restaurants there was a dessert of s'mores that was really just Hershey's chocolate, graham crackers, and marshmallows. I don't even know if the marshmallows were made in house. I don't think so. And a little like tiki holder thing with a grill over it that we would take Sterno can stuff and empty it out into these and flame that. And amazingly, in a resort like that, they were okay with the liability of putting a live flame in front of a bunch of kids. I figure we can probably fit all those in this. I have a larger option if we get the eggs take up too much space. I think we'll be okay. Other than mopping the floors, rather uninteresting. I haven't gotten to the ceiling. It sprayed all over the ceiling too, by the way. But otherwise rather boring. Yeah, why don't we throw a couple garlic cloves in here too? I don't know if you were here, you wizard, or you saw the VOD from last week when I opened a champagne bottle, or a sparkling bottle. And there's a little bit more pressure behind that cork than I had expected, even though I still kept it under. There are marks on my ceiling from about here to over here. It's still a rather minor mess compared to what I've dealt with in my trailer. Both myself and my employees in the past have forgotten to lock the refrigerator doors before leaving at the end of the night. And considering I made stock, there was at least 2 occasions where I dumped a 5 to 7 gallon container, at least partially, all over the floor. As I was sitting there trying to explain how to open a bottle safely. Which is sort of a good example because it was dirty, but it was safe. What, pounding my knife? Yeah, it's probably not a good thing to suggest to people if you're not very comfortable with your knives, and good way to cut your palm. But I typically hold a good claw form otherwise when using a knife. No, actually, you should do what I did mostly. I mean, that's what it's sort of like, and some champagne bottles have that much pressure behind them. Even though I tried to be careful and not move it a ton, I looked back at the video and I did move it quite a bit right when I was displaying how to open it, but it wasn't like I was shaking it or anything. So we're bringing these up to a boil. We got that. Just turn our oven on for our bacon. Tonight's probably not going to be that long of a show here. I'll do 400. And we'll get some vinegar pickling liquid going. We'll make a pickling liquid of 1 cup white vinegar, 1/2 cup of apple cider vinegar, half cup of sugar in the raw. Salt, we can throw the garlic in for this. Couple of peppercorns. Bay leaf. white mustard, the brown mustard, oops, maybe a little heavy on the mustard there. Let's see, anything else I'm gonna throw in there? Pinch of cayenne. Even though we got the serranos, I'm sort of trying to use these guys up. I've had these around for quite a while, but these are Chinese bird's eye peppers. Quite warm. And water. I don't know if I asked. I hope both of you are having a good time, having a good evening, having a good week. And put some of this onion down on the bottom. I'm not going to be all artsy and perfectly arrange everything here, but we'll get started with that. I'm going to need an ice bath for these eggs once they're done, once they're up to a boil and we've cooked them for a couple of minutes. Okay is better than bad. Without the boring, we wouldn't have the great. Getting close here on temp. We used the cheap salt, but we'll dump in a little salt to push us over the edge here. is what I was worried was happening. Well, at least we got our ice bath. My ice maker fell off of its hook, and so it's obviously at an angle and just draining into my ice bin rather than actually making ice. My garden starts are going amazing. I noticed just this morning, like very early morning when I woke up and first sprayed them, that I had a couple of thyme just sprouting out with green, and just during the day today, like 5 out of the 7 tomatoes that I have there, or 4 out of the 7, have sprouted completely out of the ground and have leaves up in the air now. Oh, I should add another half cup of water to that. That was a cup and a half vinegar and a cup and a half of water. Which is sort of strange because you read about tomatoes, you watering tomatoes in the evening and them doing their best growth at night when you do so. So I don't... So I'm going to give those guys a solid 10 minutes. Alright, Wolf. If I wanted to go really sort of oriental with this, I've got some... I used to... Do I still have it? I do. I could add some Szechuan peppercorn, but I don't think I'm going to do that tonight. Which is a very interesting spice. One of those sort of changes your palate when you eat it. It's a little bit like managed berry. or miracle fruit. Which most people have probably seen by now, miracle fruit, where it changes, it basically kills sour flavor in your tongue. Doesn't necessarily make things sour sweeter, it just doesn't make them sour. Get our bacon going here. Probably get started on my... you don't really want to let pancake batter sit. I barely opened this last time. Move my sheet pans. I had my half hotel pans and my sheet pans up on top of my fridge, and I made room over here on the table I have over on this side that's got a couple of shelves underneath. Get rid of our packaging. I could probably get my pancake batter going. It probably wouldn't kill it. You do want to keep as much air in it as possible, though. This is also partially a I need to cook this bacon and use these eggs stream. And I saw a recipe today that I am absolutely... I mean, I've already done roasted squash a couple of times. But, was it Alain Ducasse? Someone posted a Instagram this morning of a squash dish that... I'm going to skip the truffle on it. I'm sorry, my budget doesn't go that far. But otherwise I think I'm going to do it, which it looked like almost a sausage, but he had used only veggies of it, but like a stuffed sausage of onion, leek, and what was the third? Carrots. And it looked just like a sausage. And he was using a French term for sausage. But I'm thinking I'll probably use sausage. But also make it veggie heavy. Yeah, I've toyed with IRL. And yeah, you do get a couple more sort of feel like this isn't a web show. I mean, I'm cooking. I know this want to have more viewers in that sense, which I'll watch you there just as well as you in food, but I think I'm going to stick to the food category. Throw the bacon in the oven. Vinegar is a bit rough on the lungs and nostrils if you haven't experienced that before. Yeah, I'm not going to say that it doesn't qualify as a web show, but I think the talking heads and the people that are doing that stuff are much more a web show, or the people that are doing commentary on esports, or there's some sort of tech channel I think I've seen. I think those all better fit it than this, but yeah, cooking does fit in on PBS too. Well, if I get that big enough, there's custom stickers and all that can be done. I could spend the time doing a lot more coding. I know a lot of computer coding and stuff like that, but I don't know this coding. Done a lot of website design in my past, done a lot of part of my business. I had a website that was generating my labels, and my labels then had a QR code back to linking to a web page with all the ingredients and the sources of all the ingredients out of a trailer at a farmer's market. Got our eggs. Then my tongs get to hot temp, so touching them didn't crack it. But the cold water shock might, and the dumping the count into the Actually, one of the things I'm sort of working on right now and is currently taking priority over this, at least in my interest, is working on Raspberry Pi, different ones. Working on learning Python, so that, which I'm not going to really learn Python, but I'm going to learn how to do the basics with it so that I can do some things. Like if you see the people making those magic mirrors and stuff like that, that's the very beginnings of what I'm sort of thinking of getting into. It's definitely one of those ones where the accessories get you, though. You know, you can buy the Raspberry Pi Zero for $10, but then you need the lead wires, and then you need soldering stuff if you don't already have soldering stuff, and you need yeah. One of my projects is using my third generation old monitor that was in my closet that's VGA, and I don't think it even gets 1080. Yeah, I've been building PCs all along. My streaming PC, which is my second gen PC in the house, the stats are underneath. I've had this box around for quite a few years at this point, though I have upgraded the video card. Usually see it shortened to RAS capital PI. So we're giving these eggs a minute here or so as I spill water all over the kitchen. Yeah. And to be honest, the thing that I think has died the most on me has been power supplies. So, you know, it may not be the power supply that seems like it's broken, but the power supply shorted out the video card because it got too much, or the video card got too little power and was struggling for too long. It just gave up, sort of a thing, or bad power supplies can do a lot of bad things to a computer. That's how I should have done it before. I could leave the shells on them. And peeling the shells is probably would have been better to leave them. Let them get nice and cold before that, but we'll see how well we can do here. I'm usually not great at getting perfectly peeled eggs, though. Sorry, I don't want to peel it over the cutting board because I don't want to get shells all over the cutting board. Yeah. Pretty good. Not perfect though. Should be interesting to see what changes there is from the new AMD designs of chiplet CPUs and the increases that we see of that, because it's almost brought back what's his name's law of expansion on silicon. Want to say yeah, but I have such a horrible memory for names and dates and that sort of a thing. Where processing power will double every, I think it's 1.5 years or something like that. A little less than 6 minutes of bacon goodness. That always makes everyone hungry and happy. Should be just a general cooking stream rule, you know, sort of like I was saying the other day. Bakers putting whipped cream on mistakes and desserts. If you're having a bad stream, just cook some bacon. That it does. That it does. Though with the unfortunate change here with beef in the local area, I'm gonna actually think I'm gonna see if I can't buy some primals and break down some primals here on my stream and get into doing some of that, and then use the sub parts obviously for different dinners later on. What has unfortunately happened here in California, in Northern California, is we have lost our last processor that is taking small and custom orders. So all of the family farms, all of that, are all either having to sell to the big guys or truck their own animals 500 plus miles to the nearest processors. So even though if I stay on with my current farmer, as much as I like their stuff, and I'd still like to support them somehow, but I just can't afford to pay them to truck their animals 500 miles away from here when they're 20 minutes down the road. It's going to make it, unfortunately, that the only way that I can probably get decent prices to go straight to the big guy in town. Almost done here. Am I gonna beat the timer? No. No. Alright. Throw the last of these guys in here. Not worried about getting all the onion in there, but try and get most of that good stuff in there. Need songs to return. I guess this sort of solves my using too much brown mustard. Let's take another one of these fermentation lids. Push the little bits of dill back in there. There we go. Well, let's let that guy chill on the counter here. Not enough fat in this bacon. So if you didn't see from it was looking pretty good until we got to this thing here, but otherwise it looks like a pretty nice pickle jar. And so we'll let this sit out and come down in temperature with a warm liquid in there to room temperature. And towards the end of the stream here, or after the stream, I'll throw it in the refrigerator. And I don't know, I don't have plans yet for Friday. Should have plans right now for Friday, shouldn't I? But I don't like always planning things ahead. But no plans for Friday right now, but maybe we can do some bread, and maybe I can do like an egg salad here with our pickled eggs and some of the onion in there. So I'm going to pull these guys off of the pan now onto some paper towel. Turn off the oven there. Bacon makes most things better. I don't know that. Yeah. And we'll save our drippings here and use that for our eggs. I'm not going to entirely worry about that while we're here, but I wanted to give it a quick rinse to get the majority of the fat up off of it. That'll leave us our cooking fat for with our eggs, and I'm not going to use that for the pancakes though, but we can make our pancakes now, which this was water bath. I don't even really know pancakes going into this. I've made it before, but I'm gonna have to look this up, and I know the basic ratio is 2 eggs here. Yeah, I make pancakes this often. No. Don't play. Yeah. Okay. I can use this same bowl. Got a new bag of AP flour. Well, it's malted AP flour, but Central Milling being a very large operation, but at least having an outlet out of Petaluma. So Buttermilk. Oh. We have someone that doesn't know how to seal bags well. Need a new kid in the warehouse. I don't know why I'm worried about saving the zipper. I'm about to throw the rest of it in my container here. No, nothing exotic planned beyond that. I was thinking just a nice plate of a couple nice looking flapjacks. Well, use a bunch of butter, but we'll hide it all. Put the eggs over the top and a couple slices of avocado. Make both parties happy. Eggs are good for easy, unperfect leveling. I want to put the butter where I want it anyways, which is on the pancakes, you know, in between the layer of the pancakes and on top of the pancakes, and then just throw the eggs over the top of that. I'm gonna cook the eggs in bacon fat and eggs, but we'll put the avocado slices on there to make the vegans feel okay, or the vegetarians at least, because eggs, but and buttermilk. One and a half teaspoons of baking powder. One and a half baking soda. I am speed read following the New York Times recipe for this. So if you're looking at my what I'm doing for my baking soda, salt, sugar, so we get flour, sugar, the baking powder, the baking soda, the salt, and are we adding that into the, yeah, into the mixture, okay. Need melted butter for in there. Uh-oh, this is all I have defrosted. Uh... 3 tablespoons. So I did spill a little bit of flour there, but that was pretty good for emptying a bag of flour. I'm pretty happy with that. Microwave off camera, obviously. Not that I use it that often. So we'll give this a mix up here before we add the other ingredients in here. Probably could have sifted our flour here. Did it say it was? They didn't say to sift your flour, but sifting your flour is generally a good idea. Never know, you might find a bug or something in there. So, cultured buttermilk, low fat. Won't seem low fat, but let's see here. 2.5 cups. I've already used some of this, so. There's a little bit left in there. Melted butter. Large eggs. I haven't looked. Do I have this on the right? Yeah, okay. This whole stack is already nice and toasty, not too hot, but pretty warm just from the oven being on. We're going to turn the oven back on, but down around 280, more of a holding temp for holding our pancakes after we're done. Give us a minute or two to make our eggs and make the other ones. So you don't want to mix this too much. Just want to make sure everything's wet. So for our pancakes, we're primarily going to use butter, but we're going to use a little bit of bacon fat there for flavor, and a little bit more oil here for the pan, and then we'll throw in a pat of butter for just before we throw in each one. Finally got that fully coated. Figuring probably 6 out of this guy. What do you guys think? So we got a smoking pan here, so I think we're okay here on heat. And turn that down a bit. Turn our fan up a bit. I need like 60 or 75 degree triangle stand to put things like this on so that I can, just leave it here standing like that without my hand in the way. Back for the pancakes, just in time then. So let's see, what am I going to use to scoop batter here? I think this looks good. Yeah. Throw ourselves in a pat of butter. Actually, what I should do is pull out my baking rack here and throw a piece of parchment over the top here to sort of cushion the wiring against pancakes. Looking okay for first one here, I think. Got a little bit of a sneak peek there. I just wanted to get it a little bit longer, make sure it's completely nicely set up here. We don't quite have the set bubbles on top going on yet. But I do think we're probably just about there. A little bit light, a little bit early. Do have a little bit of what we're seeking here is that nice crispy edge, but we want that nice crispy edge over here too. Yeah, I've drawn out pickles, pancakes, and eggs to to an hour and a half here. second guy each side usually goes a little bit quicker. Let's see what we got going here.
Yeah.
Touch more veg oil. Not just spreading that out there for trying to get a circle going, but also trying to keep it so that there's relatively level plane there going on too. There's still peaks and valleys going on, but it's not a mountain. Unlike the last guy here, I'm going to try and turn this guy a little bit. I'm already thinking that this pancake dough needs more butter in it, but we'll see with the buttermilk. That one looks a lot better than I did both wet and after turning it. These are getting some lift to them. These are gonna be thin, thick boys. But I think it's because they're I mean both the baking powder and baking soda is working well. They're not brand new, but they're relatively fresh. obviously want to be careful with splatter with all the oil in the pan there. I don't know if you noticed that on the camera or not. That would not be very fun to have hit you. I was worried with how thick they are, maybe having half done centers. Those are feeling done, so that's cool. Give this guy a flip or a turn. Bacon. It's one thing I sort of miss about culinary school is the culinary school had all the hookups on all of the great meat in the New York area, in the valley, and they would sell it to students at cost, as long as you weren't like running like catering business off of it or something like that. If you're using it for your own educational purposes, if you're using it for just cooking dinner at home, but you wanted to use nice meat or nice that or the other thing, it was there available for you guys at cost. You can look at the other side on that guy. Oop. That's about right. And if you want perfectly round, nice pancakes like they do at the restaurants, just water that down. Cakey. I don't know why this is here. I was planning on putting them there, but I'm going to throw them in the oven here to hot hold them while I do the eggs. That's what I should be doing instead of trying to turn the pancakes. Just turn the pan. That would be the higher IQ option there. I'm smelling my water. Might be doing 7 here. I think I got this right with the butter, even though I was said 6 and was originally thinking 6. This last piece is just, well, I've used it already, but the last piece was just the end of the stick of butter. I'd used the rest. Turn in the pan, not the pancake now. Yep. Thankfully, the first one didn't turn out horrible. Usually the first one's junk. I mean, it was a little bit light on one side, but that just told me I needed to turn my pan. Or turn the pancake or turn the pan. Getting lots of nice golden crispness on these guys. I just realized you guys couldn't see my head nodding approvingly as I looked at the underside of that. trying to put the pat of butter sort of in the middle here. We'll have 6 nice ones, and the 7th one's going to be small. Just because I made this one probably a little bit too large. Need more agua. I think we're going to go big on number 6 and just call it with that. That was almost a disaster there. Saved it. Was lucky. But that begs the question, with as slippery as that was, do I now have to flip it in the pan? Especially with it being the largest pancake by far. Might as well use up the last one here, like you said. No such thing as too much butter. I know, I posed the challenge and didn't follow through, but if I was using this pan, there would be no question of if I would try flipping it. But with the angle on this guy, you can really sort of see the difference in the size of the pancake having an impact on the heat in the pan, because this being the largest one, it's obviously cooking the slowest. If you look around the side at how slow the bubbles are compared to these other guys, I haven't touched the heat in the pancake or two. Look at that bubble from that butter pat. Cut our pan off for the moment. We'll throw our pancakes down into this oven that I've had hot this whole time. Awesome. We'll make our eggs now. Add in a bit more bacon fat. Grab our eggs here, have them ready. Butter in the pan. Salt, black pepper, MSG, bye Wolf, have a good night. Have a good one, you wizard. Yeah, I'm just wrapping up. I'm pretty much done here. Just plating everything up. You can check it out on the Instagram later. Thanks for joining me. Oven off. Cut ourselves a quarter of an avocado here for our garnish. Please don't break, please don't break. You're breaking. I guess we'll cut this a more standard way now. There we go. That'll give us a much cleaner cut for our avocado. All right. Pat butter. Pat of butter. Pat of butter. Couple strips of bacon. Oops. One too many there. Ooh, still one too many there. Using the avocado skin here. Avocados have a pretty thick skin, but you still have to be careful. You can sort of use them to feel the side, sort of like a skin on fish or such things. And I'm sort of just running my knife down both sides, sort of only going halfway so that I can keep it a little closer to the skin. This guy does have a little thickness to him still, but he is without question ripe as well. Do a little fan action here. Throw the butter back in the fridge. Grab our Franks. And it's picture time that you guys can't even see. There we go. There we go. We got organic maple syrup. We got our Franks for with our eggs. Grab my phone that's on the corner of the table. Alright. Thank you guys for joining me this evening. I'm going to go and enjoy this while it's still nice and warm. I hope you all have a lovely week. I will be back on Friday. Don't have current plans as to what's going on here. I am going to leave my quick pickles eggs here out for another hour before I throw them in the fridge. So hope to see you guys back here on Friday. Love that you guys were here today.